A box of washing machine cleaner can cost $15, and the front of the package makes it look like a miniature appliance repair service. Deep cleaning, odor elimination, oxy-action, time release, hard water protection. Sometimes there is even a picture of a sparkling steel drum surrounded by blue bubbles. Turn the box around, open the ingredient disclosure, and the mystery gets much less glamorous. In several popular products, the largest ingredients are familiar white powders, such as sodium percarbonate and sodium carbonate. Other formulas add citric acid, a small amount of surfactant, a bleach activator, a water softener, binders, anti-foam ingredients, and fragrance. It looks like cheap powder sold at a premium, but cheap chemistry can still be useful chemistry. The real question is whether those ingredients match the mess inside your machine, whether the dose is worth the price, and whether your washer's manual allows it. Because a cleaning tablet can remove some kinds of residue, it cannot repair a blocked drain hose, clean a neglected pump filter by magic, or reach every patch of mold hiding inside a folded rubber gasket. And using the wrong chemical cocktail can leave you with excessive foam, damaged seals, corroded metal, or toxic gas. So let's break down what that $15 cleaner actually does, what you are paying for, and when the smarter move is to put the tablet back on the shelf and clean a different part of the machine. A washing machine seems like the last appliance that should smell. Every cycle fills it with water and detergent. Clothes come out cleaner. The drum looks shiny. From the front, the machine appears to rinse itself several times a week. The problem is that the stainless steel drum you can see is only one part of the wet system. Behind it sits an outer tub. Around the door is a rubber seal with folds and drainage holes. Water also passes through the detergent drawer, internal hoses, a sump, a pump, and a filter. Some of those areas stay damp after the cycle ends, and some receive very little direct scrubbing. Now add what comes off your laundry: skin oil, sweat, lint, hair, soil, food residue, pet debris, detergent, and fabric softener all enter the same water. The machine drains most of it, but most is doing a lot of work in that sentence. A thin film can remain on plastic, rubber, steel, and inside narrow channels. Fabric softener is especially good at leaving a coating because coating fabric is part of its job. Too much liquid detergent can also leave surfactants, thickeners, fragrance, and soil suspended in places that do not rinse completely. Then the door closes. A sealed front-loading washer with a damp gasket, a little warmth, and traces of organic material is not a sterile box. Microorganisms can attach to surfaces and build a biofilm, a slimy protective layer made from cells and the material surrounding them. That film helps the community cling to the machine and tolerate conditions that would wash away loose cells. The odor is often not the organism itself, it is the volatile compounds produced while microbes feed on the residue. That is why the smell can resemble wet towels, sour laundry, a basement, or an old gym bag, even when the visible drum looks spotless. Research on household washers has found microbial hotspots around door seals and detergent drawers, with recent work reporting higher overall loads in front loaders. That does not make every washer a medical emergency. The everyday problem is odor, residue, and transfer back onto clean fabric. Lower temperature washing makes the situation more complicated. Cold and eco cycles save energy, and modern detergents are designed to work at lower temperatures. But a cool, short, low water cycle is less aggressive against established residue than a long maintenance cycle with more water and heat. If every load is cold, heavily dosed, and followed by a tightly closed door, the washer never gets much of a reset. This is where people often make the problem worse. They smell the machine, assume the clothes need more detergent, pour in an extra capful, and create more residue for the next cycle. Pay attention to this next detail, because it explains why a washer can smell even in a very clean home. The machine is not getting dirty because you failed to add enough soap. It is getting dirty because a small amount of soil and product is repeatedly deposited in damp spaces that normal laundry cycles do not fully flush. A washing machine cleaner is designed to interrupt that buildup with a concentrated empty cycle. The drum has no clothes competing for the chemistry. A self-clean or tub-clean program may use more water, a longer soak, higher temperature, or a different movement pattern. The powder dissolves, circulates through the wet system, attacks certain residues, and is then rinsed away. But not every cleaner attacks the same thing. Take a fresh washing machine cleaner. Its safety data sheet lists sodium percarbonate at 60 to 70% and sodium carbonate at 10 to 20%. The rest includes tablet binders, a stabilizing ingredient, sodium acetate, and less than 1% fragrance. That is the first big reveal. The famous tablet is largely an oxygen bleach salt plus washing soda. OxiClean washing machine cleaner uses a similar core, but in different proportions. Its safety data sheet lists sodium carbonate at 30 to 60% and sodium percarbonate at 15 to 40%. It also lists small amounts of 2-ethoxylated alcohol surfactants, each at no more than 1.75%. Tide's current ingredient statement adds more moving parts. It lists sodium sulfate as a bulking agent, sodium carbonate as a pH adjuster, sodium percarbonate as a bleaching agent, a bleach activator called TAED, zeolite as a chelator, an alkyl benzene sulfonate cleaning agent, anti-redeposition polymers, anti-foam ingredients, fragrance, and processing aids. Then there are acid-based cleaners. Lemishine, for example, lists citric acid and sodium bicarbonate in its washing machine cleaner. Other appliance descalers use organic acids because mineral scale and greasy biofilm are different problems. People see all of these white powders and assume the products are interchangeable. They are not. Sodium percarbonate is a dry carrier for hydrogen peroxide. When it dissolves in water, it separates into carbonate and hydrogen peroxide. The hydrogen peroxide provides oxidative cleaning. In plain English, it reacts with many organic compounds that contribute to stains, discoloration, grime, and odor. As it breaks down, it eventually forms water and oxygen. That bubbling action looks dramatic, but bubbles are not the main cleaning mechanism. The chemistry is oxidation, plus the alkaline environment and the physical movement of water through the machine. Sodium carbonate, better known as washing soda, pushes the solution toward a high pH. That helps loosen greasy, oily residue and improves the performance of other cleaning ingredients. It also acts as a builder by reducing the interference caused by hard water minerals. Surfactants do a different job. One end of a surfactant molecule is comfortable around water, while the other end is attracted to oily material. That lets the wash solution wet dirty surfaces, lift oil, and hold it in the water long enough to drain away. A washer cleaner only needs a modest surfactant dose because too much foam is a problem in a high-efficiency machine. The bleach activator in Tide is there because hydrogen peroxide works more slowly at lower temperatures. TAED reacts with peroxide to create a more active bleaching species in the wash water. That helps an oxygen-based formula do useful work without requiring an extremely hot cycle. Zeolites and other water-softening ingredients manage minerals. Anti-redeposition polymers keep removed grime suspended. Anti-foam ingredients prevent a bubble bath. Binders hold the tablet together, and fragrance makes the results smell convincing. And that last ingredient deserves a little suspicion. A clean fragrance can improve the experience, but scent is not proof that residue was removed. A machine can smell like citrus while the pump filter is still packed with lint. It can smell fresh for 2 days while black growth remains under the lip of the gasket. Fragrance is a finishing effect, not a diagnostic tool. Now compare the alkaline oxygen bleach formula with an acid cleaner. Limescale is largely mineral material, commonly associated with calcium carbonate deposits from hard water. Acids are good at reacting with carbonate scale and converting it into material that can be rinsed away. Citric acid also helps bind metal ions. That is why acidic descalers are useful against chalky white deposits. Oxygen bleach is better suited to oxidizable organic residue. Surfactants are better suited to oily films. Alkaline builders help with grease and detergent performance. A well-designed product chooses a chemistry package based on the residue it expects to find. This is where the story takes a turn nobody expected. A cleaner can be excellent against odor-causing organic film and still be mediocre against heavy mineral scale. Another product can dissolve scale and do very little to a greasy layer in the drain path. The front label may call both products washing machine cleaner, but they are solving different jobs. There is also a marketing oddity hiding in plain sight. Some oxygen-based cleaners are labeled chlorine-free or even bleach-free, while their ingredient list contains sodium percarbonate, which is widely described as oxygen bleach. In that context, bleach-free usually means no liquid chlorine bleach. It does not mean the formula contains no oxidizing bleaching chemistry. So is the $15 product mostly cheap powder? In many cases, yes, but that statement needs a fair price comparison. At current United States retail prices, a 5-use fresh pack sold for about $11.26, which works out to roughly $2.25 per cleaning. A 4-use OxyClean box sold for about $7.48, or about $1.87 per use. A 6-use Tide box sold for $11.99, almost exactly $2 per use. A generic 15-tablet box at roughly $15 comes to about $1 per cycle. The raw ingredients are much cheaper. At current current small package retail prices, pure sodium percarbonate sold for about 36 cents per ounce, and washing soda for about 10 cents. Based on the listed composition and approximate tablet size, the two main salts in one fresh dose come to roughly 32 to 38 cents. That is an estimate, not a factory invoice or a do-it-yourself recipe. It excludes binders, stabilizers, packaging, testing, distribution, retailer margin, and the value of a measured, shelf-stable dose. Still, the gap is real. You are not paying $2 for rare chemistry. You are paying for convenience, controlled dosing, a product designed to dissolve at a particular rate, and some confidence that the formula has been tested for an appliance use. Whether that is worth it depends on what you value. If a pre-measured packet gets you to run the maintenance cycle every month, $2 may be cheap prevention. If you are buying a heavily advertised tablet every week because the odor keeps returning, the product is probably treating a symptom while the real residue sits in the gasket, filter, drawer, or drain system. If you enjoy practical product breakdowns without the marketing fog, subscribe. This channel looks at what household products are made from, what they can realistically do, and where the label starts doing more work than the chemistry. The biggest mistake comes after someone learns that the ingredients are common. They assume any home mixture is automatically equivalent. It is not. The correct cleaner is the one your exact washing machine allows. Manufacturer instructions vary, sometimes even between models from the same brand. Whirlpool says many front-load models should run the clean washer cycle monthly and may use a fresh tablet, liquid chlorine bleach, or another washing machine cleaning product. But Whirlpool also warns against thickened, easy pour, or no splash bleach in that cycle because it can create excessive suds. Samsung's United States guidance says its self-clean cycle normally does not require a cleaner. Bleach may be recommended when an existing mold odor is present, and the tub must be empty. Samsung also tells owners to follow the purchased cleaner's directions because products vary. Then the model-specific problem appears. Samsung guidance in another market tells users not to add cleaning agents or detergent to certain drum clean or tub clean cycles at all. That apparent contradiction is exactly why a generic internet recipe is weaker than the manual for the machine sitting in your house. LG guidance for some models recommends an oxygen bleach tub cleaner and warns that chlorine-based or acidic cleaners can cause discoloration or corrosion. It also warns that cleaners producing excessive foam may leak. Another LG support page warns against undiluted bleach because misuse can damage the machine. Bosch takes a stricter line on home acids. Its United States support pages advise against using citric acid or vinegar to descale a Bosch washer because those acids may degrade rubber parts over time. Bosch recommends its tested descaler and washer cleaner instead. Manufacturers may have an interest in selling branded products, but they also know the seals, coatings, metals, hoses, pumps, and water levels in each model. A model-specific warning matters more than a 30-second cleaning hack. Now we reach the rule that is not negotiable. Do not mix cleaning chemicals. Chlorine bleach mixed with an acid, including vinegar or some descalers, can release chlorine gas. Chlorine bleach mixed with ammonia can create chloramine gas. Both can seriously injure your eyes and lungs. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention gives the simple version. Household bleach can release chlorine gas when mixed with certain cleaners, so do not mix household cleaners. Do not assume that running one chemical after another makes the combination safe. Residue can remain in a dispenser, sump, hose, or gasket. Use one approved product, complete the required rinse, and follow the label and manual before switching chemistry. Whirlpool also warns not to use oxygen or color-safe bleach in the same cycle as liquid chlorine bleach, and a foamy household product such as dish soap is a terrible substitute for a low-sudsing washer cleaner. Excess foam can interfere with sensing, extend the cycle, reduce spin performance, leak from the machine, and leave even more residue behind. The powders themselves deserve basic respect. Safety data sheets for popular cleaners warn about eye irritation or serious eye damage and harm if swallowed. Do not crush a tablet into airborne dust. Do not touch the powder and rub your eyes, and keep it away from children and pets. So what should you actually do when the washer smells? Start with the manual and the model number. Find the section called Self-Clean, Tub tub clean, drum clean, or clean washer. Check whether the cycle requires no additive, a branded tablet, a general washer cleaner, or a measured amount of plain liquid chlorine bleach. Then inspect the parts the tablet cannot scrub. Pull back the rubber gasket and remove hair, coins, lint, and visible slime. Take out the detergent drawer and clean the compartment behind it. Check the pump filter if your model has an owner-accessible filter. Look at the drain hose for incorrect installation or standing water. Wipe the door glass and the underside of the seal. A chemical cycle is much more effective after the thick material has been physically removed. Next, run the approved empty maintenance cycle exactly as directed. Use one product in the correct compartment or directly in the drum, and do not add laundry. If the cleaner label calls for a hot cycle but the machine has a dedicated cleaning program, the machine manual gets the final vote. After the cycle, wipe out loosened residue and run an extra rinse if the instructions call for it. Leave the door or lid slightly open so the interior can dry, and leave the detergent drawer open when practical. Remove wet clothes promptly. Use high-efficiency detergent in a high-efficiency washer, and dose it for the load size, soil level, and water hardness instead of filling the cap by habit. If the odor returns quickly, diagnose the type of buildup. Chalky white deposits point toward hard water scale. A greasy gray film, softener slime, or a sour odor points more toward organic residue and product buildup. Black spotting under a gasket may require direct cleaning and, in severe cases, replacement of the affected seal. A sewer-like odor can indicate a drain, standpipe, trap, or installation issue rather than a dirty drum. And if 2 or 3 properly performed cleaning cycles do not solve the problem, stop feeding tablets into the machine. A clogged filter, stagnant drain path, damaged gasket, blocked hose, or internal buildup may need disassembly or professional service. The deeper question is what prevents the smell from returning. Use less product when the instructions support it. Skip unnecessary fabric softener when residue keeps returning. Let the machine dry and clean the drawer and gasket before the buildup becomes obvious. Run the maintenance program at the interval in the manual. Maintenance works best while the film is still thin, so the honest verdict is more interesting than scam or miracle. The $15 washing machine cleaner is often mostly inexpensive powder. A major branded tablet can be dominated by sodium percarbonate and sodium carbonate. Another product adds a little surfactant. Another uses citric acid for mineral scale. Another adds an activator so peroxide works better at lower temperature. Those ingredients are ordinary, but they have real jobs. Oxygen bleach attacks many organic odor compounds. Washing soda raises pH and helps with greasy buildup. Surfactants lift oil. Acids attack mineral scale. Chelators manage hard water ions. Anti-foam ingredients keep the machine from filling with suds. What the cleaner cannot do is replace inspection, physical wiping, correct detergent dosing, ventilation, filter maintenance, or the instructions written for your washer. The real question is not why a box of powder costs $15. It is why we expect one scented tablet to reverse months of wet residue in a machine we never open, wipe, dry, or inspect. Use the right cleaner for the right deposit. Use it at the interval your manual recommends. Never mix chemicals. And when the smell keeps coming back, stop buying stronger fragrance and find the part of the machine that is still dirty. Subscribe for more breakdowns of the everyday products that cost much more than their ingredient list suggests.